Today on GoPro, tips and tricks for making a DIY custom hard-sided storage case for our GoPro camera. For this build, we're going to be using this Mastercraft aluminum-sided hard case. I picked this up at Canadian Tire for $25, but there's also a link in the video description where you can find cases very, very similar to this. So we've got our case, and then we've got all of the stuff we're going to be putting into it. So let's go ahead and open up the case and see how this is going to work. So inside the case here, we get our big block of pre-cut foam. So what this is it's a huge block of foam that fills the inside of the case. And then each one of these little squares here, they're about a centimeter by a centimeter square, they can be pulled out. So they're pre-attached, and then you rip them out and they come out just like this. And then you rip out all of the ones you need to make a custom cutout for whatever you're putting inside your case. So in our case, we'll rip out enough foam to have custom cutouts for each of our GoPro cameras, and then we'll decide whether we're doing a big cutout for all of the accessories or we're going to try and do some of the accessories as with their own custom cutouts. So to get started, we'll just lay down our first camera on top of the foam here. We'll get it right up against the top. So there's the top of the foam, and then against the side. So there's about an inch on the side here, which isn't removable, and up to the top there. So this camera is going to go right here, and then we'll just pull out all of the foam pieces which the camera overlaps. And just like that, our first compartment is all done. You can see we've got it exactly the right size for the camera, and our camera just comes like this and slides right in. Now it's a little bit deep, and you could either cut this foam block in half, the bit we ripped out, and then reinsert it so that the camera had something to sit against on the bottom of it. Or you could do what I'm going to do and just keep two cameras in that same foam cutout. So I've got my first Hero 3 here. I'm going to slide that one in first, and then I'm going to slide my second camera in on top of it. My reason for doing this is, well, the case is 6 inches deep, so I might as well take full advantage of that camera depth. Now that's not going to work with a bigger camera like the Hero 2 or the cutout I'm making for my Hero 3 with the foam backpack. So we'll have to have 3 camera cutouts. We're now going to go ahead and just continue to rip out the foam for the next cameras. If you guys want to, if you've got more cameras or more accessories, what's a great way to pre-imagine how this is all going to fit together is to lay out all of your stuff onto the case once before, and then trace around each of the foam cutouts with a Sharpie. For the Hero 3 cameras, for the cameras, my case was pretty obvious because there was exactly enough room to start at the top and then leave one row of foam between each of the cameras and fit 3 cameras in the upright row. So that was how I'm going to do this, and then after that we'll play around with accessories and see how they fit best. And with that, all of our foam cutouts for our cameras are complete. Now, if you screwed up, like I did here, you see these 2 foam pieces are actually loose because I accidentally ripped them out while making room for my base plate there, as well as these 2 here. I need to reinstall them. And the easiest way to do that is with our glue gun. So we're just going to get our little block of foam that we need to reattach. And then we're just going to run 2 little beads of hot glue down the edge of the foam, just like that, and on the side. And then we're going to place it back where it needs to go and hold that hot glue in place. Now, if you ever need to remove this, it'll actually remove in exactly the same way that it used to remove the foam, and you can just rip it back out. So very easy and versatile if you ever need to replace the foam or change your orientation. Just keep your foam blocks and then just glue them back in when you need to. Now it's time to move on to some other accessories. So we'll start just laying out our accessories on the top of the right-hand side of the case here, and we'll just see how they're going to fit. So we'll start with maybe the 3-way. We'll try and work from the bigger accessories down. So there's the edge of the case. So maybe that can go like right there. And then because of how deep this is, the gooseneck is about the same size, so it could probably fit on top of it. Then maybe we'll do important things like our 2LC, like our battery backpacks. Those would fit nicely if we just ripped a little 3x2 out right there. Maybe another one 2 foam blocks down. That would be good. Why don't we do that? So those will go there, and then GoPro remotes. Those should be a 2x2, I think. a 2x2. So we'll go here and here with those. So we'll keep electronics and maybe this side, and then accessories over there. Maybe we'll do a square cutout for the suction cup mount. And we'll go, won't fit down there, so it'll probably be there. And then maybe we do some tall skinny ones down here for these two. Yeah, maybe that would work. All right, we'll start with that and see how it goes from there. So this is coming along really, really nicely. Now the question is, what other accessories do we want to put on here? And are we going to continue doing individual cutouts for each of them? Or are we going to just do one bigger square pocket, which a lot of accessories can fit in? So what I'm thinking is I'd like to do batteries in their own compartments. And then I think the rest of the accessories, I'm going to make one bit bigger pocket, which all of them can fit in. So we'll do batteries, and they only take a 1x2, so we'll go 1x2, 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 and 1x2. And we can get 2 batteries into each of these pockets. Those pockets will be for batteries. And then I think I'm going to do one big square cutout here. I'm going to pull this square out. Now, I did find it very helpful to use the marker when doing bigger accessories. I used that when I did the suction cup mount, just because it was a circle, figuring out which blocks to pull out. Just the marker made it a lot easier. So I'd recommend laying out and then marking with the Sharpie which foam blocks you want to pull out. There's our final big cutout. Now go ahead, load the rest of our accessories into here. And just like that, we are done. Now, that was a lot of stuff over here, and it all fit into this case very nicely. And as you can see, there's still quite a lot of space left. You could have been more organized with these final accessories, but at some point you need to just make one big pocket to stuff stuff in, because doing individual foam cutouts for each thing does become space consuming. As you can see, these remotes take up a lot more space with individual cutouts than they would just thrown in here. The same is true of batteries. I do have this big empty space up here, which I can use for more accessories or more cameras or whatever else I wanted. And if I save this extra chunks of foam, I can always just hot glue them back in and then come up with new arrangements as my GoPro accessories change. With that, our DIY hard-sided foam-filled case for our GoPro cameras is finished. The last step now is to add some stickers, customize it a little bit, and just make it look like a camera case and less like a metal-sided toolbox or briefcase. And with that, our DIY GoPro hard-sided storage case is done. I think this is a really, really awesome looking case. Stickers make it look really cool. And it's going to do a great job of protecting and keeping our GoPro kit organized. This is a really, really cheap way to get a hard-sided case. If you buy hard-sided camera cases, they're normally really expensive, but this toolbox, like I said before, it was 25 bucks. You can check the link in the app in the description of this video to Amazon page, where I found a couple others that are similarly priced. This was Canadian Tire Mastercraft hard-sided aluminum storage case. Guys, this was another DIY GoPro tips and tricks video. If you've enjoyed it, please make sure you subscribe, check out my channel for lots more videos, and like the video. If you've got any questions or comments, leave them down below. I read all of them, and I respond to as many of them as I can. Until next time, thank you very much for watching.